Welcome to Doc's Download, the podcast edition, where real conversations meet real Buckeye life. I'm your host, Dr. Melissa Shivers, Senior Vice President for Student Life, and better known as Doc, here to bring you stories, strategies, and a few laughs along the way. Whether you're a brand new Buckeye or a seasoned one, consider this your all-access pass to tips, truths, and triumphs straight from the heart of campus. Let's dive in, everybody. Welcome to Doc's Download, the podcast edition. Hello, I am Doc, your host, and today we are going to be talking to all of our brand new Buckeyes and the families who love them about how to start this incredible journey as a Buckeye. I am so fortunate that today I have three incredible guests who are bringing their own playbook to the conversation. I have a senior who has lived the full Buckeye experience, a commuter student who knows just how to make campus feel really much like home, no matter where you live, and a parent who has mastered the art of supporting from the sidelines. So let's jump right into you all's incredible Buckeye wisdom. Does that sound okay, everybody?
Hey,
that sounds good
great.
to me.
All right. First up, we have Isaac Wilson. Isaac is 4 years in the Scarlet and Gray, countless memories, and now, Isaac, you are about to graduate.
Yes,
if you
indeed.
could go back and give your first year self one piece of advice, what would it be?
I would always say, just hit the ground running and really understand what time management looks like. That's the biggest difference between high school to college, is that high school is very structured. You have either your parents, your principal, your teachers telling you exactly where to go, where you need to be. But college, they let you off the leash, you know what I mean? And you can either go really... there's two different spectrums with that. So like really understanding what time management is and locking that down, get your planner together, your Google Calendar, all of those things, and hit the ground running. Like, don't be scared to reach out and get involved, because the connections is what college is about. That's why we're on campus. That's why we're interacting with students. The involvement fairs, the regular events. Those are the things that you need to be at. That should be a must, rather than a maybe. So that's what I would say.
Very nice, Isaac. I think a lot about hindsight, right? You look back and say, I wish I would have done this, or I could have done this. So thanks for sharing that incredible wisdom with our brand new students, so they don't have to sort of look back in 3 years and say, I woulda, coulda, shoulda. You have given them the playbook. So thank you very, very much. Now, Cushy, you've built a very, very strong Buckeye network while still living off campus. How do you make sure that you are still plugged in to all things Ohio State?
I think the biggest thing as a commuter is you don't have a lot of time where you can just kind of do whatever you want. There is some to that, but you can't always do whatever you want. You're very structured on your time. I have my classes all lined up, and I in my breaks, I know what I'm doing. And so I think that's really important. When you find those breaks, find the things that you want to do on campus and that you actually like to do, and that give you the sense of community, the belonging, so that you keep wanting to do those. Because it's very easy as a commuter to kind of just get wrapped up in feeling distant because you're so far away from campus sometimes, depending on how long your commute is and things like that, if your friends are doing something at 8 p.m., 9 p.m., it's not easy to go and join them on that, especially when you have a drive right after. You have to go home. You have to try to do all these other things. So just making sure that you actually love what you're doing, and that is very important. At least it was to me. And it was very hard to find those things though, because I'm someone who is interested in a lot of things, right? And I like to keep doing all these things, but it's that realization that you can't do it all when you're also commuting, because you have to take into account, okay, I have to come to campus by the time. I'm usually on campus for 12 hours a day, and I don't go and sleep. And like, that's not something you can just easily do. So I think as a commuter, there's just like so many other factors that you need to consider when you're making these decisions. So making sure you're actually motivated is very, very important. And back to what Isaac was saying, calendar, those things matter so much more because you like see when you're timed off or like when you're busy, when you're not busy, and things like that. Yeah.
That's great. And I love the fact that you really named the importance of scheduling out your time. And then also thinking a lot about how your friends can be engaged in various activities that start at 8 and 9, but that can be more difficult for you. But if you're able to plan, you can probably plan to be able to attend and to participate. So really your ability to engage, it's not limited by your zip code.
No.
It really is just about how you find a path to make sure that engagement is a priority. Is that accurate?
Yes, 100%.
That's perfect. Thanks, Kashi. And finally, we have Beth Ullum. You have seen the move-in days, Beth. You've seen the pain points, the tough decisions. You've seen the milestones as a parent. What are some of the best ways that you were able to successfully navigate the time with your students here at Ohio State without really taking the driver's seat?
I prided myself on doing a lot of my own research through the resources that the university provides families so that I could know when they had questions where I could point them. I always said, in my mind, I never wanted to take their wins. I wanted them to figure out how to problem solve. I mean, I'm not going to be doing this when they have their first job and when they move on and make big decisions. So I knew it was a critical point in their growth and development. But going back to even what Isaac said, I really wanted them to try everything. And just because you go to the student involvement fair and you like sign up for like 10 or 12 groups, does not go and check them all out. You'll know if it's something you need to stick with, but don't keep yourself limited. Like, make sure you open your mind and you open yourselves to new experiences, new opportunities. That you get 4 years, maybe 5, and it's so critical. You never get this time. We know you never get this time in life again. So take advantage of all of it. So that's kind of how I sent them. And I wanted them to do the same thing in their classes. Yes, they had to take their classes to graduate. But if you're an engineer, take art classes. If you're an art major, take some science classes. Do something to fill your bucket and to broaden your mind.
Gosh, Beth, I love that so much because I think for 18 years, many of our parents have really coordinated and orchestrated everything for their student. And then when they drop them off here at Ohio State, we say, let them go and be free. But we don't know if we've given them all of the skills and the ability to do that. What we also know, too, is that parents continue to be so important to the student success at Ohio State. And so the way that you were able to encourage and inspire your student while at the same time being able to be present if they needed anything, I think is one of the most important points that you made this morning. It's not about steering, it's more about guiding.
And creating opportunities for them to engage.
And supporting them in the different things that they want to explore. They may be different things that they didn't explore in high school.
Correct.
But they've come to Ohio State and find 1,400 student organizations. And then they also are in the classroom learning about the opportunities to study abroad. And just there's so much that's coming at them. And having a parent who can support their exploration really does feel like a map to success.
I appreciate that.
Thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right. We're going to do a rapid round. So rapid, so fast. 1 sentence of advice for a brand new Buckeye. Isaac.
1 sentence of advice. The biggest thing is stay organized and be ready to grow. that's my biggest thing.
Stay organized, be ready to grow.
Be ready to grow, because that's what this college experience is.
That's right.
It's a growing experience. It comes with the pains, and it comes with, you know what I mean, you being 6 foot. But so
that's awesome.
Like those are the two sides of it. But you have to embrace those things instead of being scared of them. Running from it won't save you.
Powerful. That's awesome. Cushy.
Probably like get involved, but to find community. Don't get involved just to like do everything. Do that at first to try it out, but like try to find what resonates with you, because that's really important in trying to like for your future on how like what you think, if your like morals match with people, things like that. I think it's very important to like get involved, but like somewhat strategically, if that makes sense.
Intentionality is important.
Very important.
Intentionality is very important. All right, Beth, you're wrapping us up on the fast lightning round.
All right. As a good Nike school, just do it.
Very nice. And you gave Nike full credit for that. Very impressive,
did.
Beth. Very impressive. So before we wrap, I want each of you to share your favorite Buckeye moment, the one that you'll still smile about in years to come. Whoever wants to start.
I can start this one off.
Okay.
I think the state tour, I was blessed with being able to go with President Ted Carter on the state tour that he does around the state of Ohio, because we're a land grant organization, kind of understanding how much Ohio State gives back to the community, not only in Columbus, but the whole state of Ohio. That was really impactful to me, just because of the fact that the work that I do here isn't just on this campus, and this is something that affects everyone in the state. And not only that, you have everyone in the state rooting for you. You know, so like, you know, whether or not that's football and X, Y, and Z, they're rooting for you because you are here at this university. You are doing great things, and you will get a degree here. So that really impacted me, just understanding on how wide the impact is at Ohio State, and me being a part of that is simply a blessing.
That's awesome. Beth.
Okay. I have so many. So let's go with one that impacted the entire family. We all went out to Arizona for the national championship game of Ohio State and Miami. And I think just my children were significantly smaller, and I think them seeing the amount of enthusiasm and people that supported and loved and had passion for this university helped solidify their paths to coming here. It was a heart attack-filled night. It was out of I can't really even, well, you all probably saw it maybe, and it was epic, and that was something that impacted the entire family.
And to share that experience with the family.
Yes.
Was significant.
It was, yes. But there's a million like that.
Thanks, Beth.
Yeah.
Cushy.
I feel like I've been so blessed at the university to have so many amazing memories. It's hard to pick a couple. I have top 2, I think. Though I would agree, state tour was amazing. I got to go and I got to actually help plan some of it and behind the scenes. And it's just so cool to see events like that put together. And you kind of know like more about them because you're putting them together. You find out the history and like why we do things, because we just don't do things to do them, right? But I think something that kind of is up there with me for me is Buckeye Frenzy 2023. That's just something close to my heart because that was my first experience with like working with the university, and that was my first like event as an Ohio State Buckeye that was like that large of a scale and things like that. So like it's just so close to my heart, and it's such a fun event. I mean, who doesn't want free stuff, guys?
So you've teased Buckeye Frenzy. Let's tell our friends what they can look forward to with the upcoming Buckeye Frenzy, Cushy.
Yeah. So Buckeye Frenzy is actually August 25th, so the day before school starts. It's always the day before school starts, guys. But you just go around. You can find free stuff. You get free food from different people like Skyline. I don't really know what the lineup looks like this year, but there's, like I said, free stuff. You can get a free haircut too, where are you going to get a free haircut these days? But yeah, you kind of just can walk around, get to like know different companies. You just have a good time with your friends, right? Great way to start the school year off with just doing something that doesn't require you to like be fully like paying attention or anything. It's just like a fun thing.
Yeah, and everything is free.
Yes.
Which is also fantastic. The one thing I've learned in my almost 30 years in higher education is that if I want to get you all there, free stuff is the pathway. It doesn't even matter what the stuff is. Just free, and you'll take it and love it and enjoy it. And that is such a great way to get connected and to just hang out with people. No pressure. Just having fun together and being a Buckeye. That shared experience is pretty incredible. Isaac, you got something else. I can see it.
I will say that, like, out of my 4 years here at Ohio State, I haven't had to buy any, like, Ohio State gear. Like, it's all been through the gathering of free stuff. For
See,
the
parents, students, look what you have to look forward to. Free stuff, free shirts, free hats. The hat that Isaac has on right now, state tour hat. I mean, it's incredible. So I love the fact that you all shared so many powerful memories, but more importantly, why they were so impactful for you. When I think about the importance of connection, realizing that Ohio State isn't just seen in Columbus. We are across the 88 counties, and people care deeply about Ohio State, which in turn, Isaac, sounds like it made you feel more connected to the community. Beth, when I think a lot about spending time, athletics is just one way that people build community, but the fact that you were able to share that with your family just speaks to the importance of creating connections and lifelong memories that your kids will never forget. They'll never forget that. And then, Cushy, when you think a lot about sort of the ability to be involved and to take on such a monumental task as Buckeye Frenzy, but then realizing the impact that it was going to have on first-year students. They leave convocation and they go to Buckeye Frenzy, and then all of a sudden it starts to really set in. I'm a Buckeye. And this is part of what it means to be a Buckeye. We are different majors, we have different backgrounds, but the one thing that knits us all together is being a part of this Buckeye family. And that is so special, so special. As we prepare to wrap up the podcast, a couple of thoughts just from me to our students. Come in and be ready to be exactly who you are. And then open yourself up to learn more, to engage more, in order to really help you thrive at Ohio State. Parents and families, you have done everything that you needed to do to ensure your students' success. They've gained admittance to Ohio State. Now you get to support them in flying and watching them be their absolute best self. What an opportunity and time to be a Buckeye. Right? What a time to be a Buckeye. And we are so excited to have you all and look forward to seeing you on campus in a few short days. Thanks, everyone, for listening to Doc's Download, the podcast edition. I'm Doc, and I am here to remind you to stay curious, to stay excited, to stay connected, and as absolutely always, go Bucks! This program is a presentation of the Office of Student Life at The Ohio State University, recorded in the studios of WOSU Public Media. Your engineer is Dalton Jones, producers J. Randall Hicks and Matthew Swearingen, and executive producer Jen Vandemark. The views expressed are those of the host and guest and do not necessarily reflect those of the university. Join us next time for another edition of Doc's Download, the podcast.